Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso revised notice special meeting. And we'll have, if you'll join me, we'll have a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendships among united cultures.
Anybody else ever notice how some places say the pledge is a little different? They don't pause. One nation, under God.
Oh, yeah. No.
I mean, I'm kind of with them on that.
That used to be the thing in the old days in Portales. There was a banker that do that. And he'd get on to everybody.
Yeah, and it kind of screws up the rhythm, and you know, so you find out. So anyway, I was just curious if I'm the only one noticing.
I think the Supreme Court ruled on all that.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah. In God we trust on the currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a decision.
Well, it's, you know, one nation under God instead of one nation under God. So anyway. Okay, enough of that deliberation this morning. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We have a roll call coming, please.
Mayor Crawford,
Here.
Councilor Eby,
Here.
Councilor Letterman. Here. Councilor Hooker,
Here.
Councilor Jackson,
Here.
Councilor Corey.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Okay, and Mayor Pro Tem is on his way. Okay, first item up for discussion is going to be discussion and possible action on the adoption of Resolution 2024-19, a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2025, July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, budget for all funds to the local government division of the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration. And hi, Judy. Hi there. Well, we're all very sorry for your loss, and you and your family are on our hearts and minds for sure.
I do appreciate you moving up the meeting for me, so if I can, I'll get right into it.
Yes, ma'am. Get it.
Okay, so this is our budget that we will be starting off in the fiscal year 2025 year with EFA and the local government division. Just keep in mind that this is just a starting point. This is for us to begin expenditure on the 1st of July, and right now the current budget totals $53,698,218. And there have not been a lot of changes from what we saw during the budget hearing. So if we could, I would like to focus on your PDF that's titled Fiscal Year 2025 Budget Changes to Adopt It.
Okay, go ahead.
If we can get there.
Okay.
And on the third page, I will be focusing, they're labeled in blue, numbers 1 through 10, and these are the changes that I made by funds, and we can just go ahead and go through them. On the general fund itself, we increased DOT revenue line item by $900,000. We split the cost of the paving of the convention center. It was not included in the budget that was in April, so we increased revenues by $200,000 for the three-way split. We increased Parks and Rec rentals by $200,000. It was just a slip of the finger. And then we increased this convention center revenues by $440,000, and we increased police and school security by $18,000. We did increase tourism travel by $4,500. We removed the TV computer software at $51,935. This is already currently budgeted in our regular fiscal year 2024 budget. We decreased the emergency manager subscriptions and dues by $6,080 and travel by $6,000. And we decreased P&Z's software maintenance $90,000 because the STR software is actually paid through Lodgers tax, so that's why we decreased it. We were just moving it from the general fund to Lodgers tax. And then swimming pool, we increased their dues subscription by $1,000.
Oh, you're good.
And we kept Parks and Rec budget by $100,000, so it went from $300,000 to $200,000. And we decreased roof on house non-cap by $3,900 because we did a budget adjustment in the current year, so she could get those items in a little bit earlier in order to try to compensate for the opening during the summer. And we also kept the vehicle at $60,000. So overall, those were the changes to the general fund. We actually included an airport subsidy at $470,795, and we increased the subsidy to streets by $672,350. Those were the changes for the general fund. If you have any questions, I can answer them, or we'll go ahead and just move on.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
The next change was to the fire fund loan. We included to, get an NNF loan to purchase fire truck at $990,000. And then the next changes were to the, lodgers tax, fund. We, included subscription and dues at $1,300, contractual services, $55,000, media planning at $207,960. We included the visitor center's contract at $227,700. The convention center's sales at $65,000. We decreased brochures and trade shows at $57,565, which is literally just putting it in the current item. And then we increased property maintenance at $26,265. And of course, we did the software maintenance at $183,660. Now this includes the Buxton software and the STR software. On this next change was actually, to the street department. We moved $80,000 out of building and improvement. This was for the asphalt, plant and some of the building improvements that we actually budgeted in the current year in '24, so that they could get a jump on them and try to get it approved and completed by summertime. The next change was to the rivet. We increased permits at $10,000 and the parking fees at $100,000. And then the next change was on RSVP. I was just making the grants right. The federal grant increased by $2,500 and the state grant increased by $1,050. And then number 9's change was we actually got the figures for the new DWI grant. So we actually included the grants in this version of the budget. So we increased the revenues by $216,967, and we actually increased the contractual at $188,000, the DWI cost at $15,000, and general supplies at $13,967. And then the last changes were to the airport. We decreased donations at $3,946 because that is actually a rollover figure, and that will occur in the first budget adjustment of the new fiscal year. We decreased the contingency at $5,000, their legal fees at $2,000, drug testing at $1,500 because that all comes out of the general fund. Their property maintenance was reduced by $38,000, and their software maintenance at $21,600, and the runway maintenance at $25,000. But we added all their capital outlay items at $101,765. And if you want a detailed list, there's another spreadsheet in the attachments called capital outlay. I believe there was a truck, med supply kit or something like that, and another item. But those were all the changes from the version that was presented in April to current date. So if you have any questions, I would like to try to answer them. If not, if I could get a motion.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Mayor, Judy, condolences on your loss, but on
Thank you.
your memorandum, I got confused on the SGRT had a lower amount, and I'm pretty sure that was just a typo.
So right now, in SGRT, there are no projects budgeted. The only thing that's budgeted in SGRT are the debt service payments that are paid out. I believe, they were gonna get through some of the projects that they were gonna try to finish this year before they started budgeting the new money. So I'm assuming that we'll get projects sometime in July with the first budget adjustment.
Okay, so does that, the carryover will get us up to that 4 million?
There's actually more than that, Counselor. I think there's like 10 or 11 million, but I have to double check. But yes, you are correct. Once the rollover occurs, and the new projects are added, then that budget will definitely go up.
Okay, that's good, that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve adoption of Resolution 2024-19, a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2025, July 1st to 2024 through June 30th, 2025, budget for all funds to the local government division of the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration.
Second.
Okay, final discussion? Roll call, please, Jenny.
Counselor Jackson,
Aye.
Counselor Corey,
Aye.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman,
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Judy. Discussion and possible action on Resolution 2024-17, a resolution of acceptance and approval of the fiscal year 2023 audit. Mr. Muirhead, come on up. And we just got notice today that we got our GRT from March today, and it was $100,000 over last year, which was up from the year before. So we're continuing to move along. Well, I think most of that from the businesses I talked to, it's construction. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You guys have all seen, I think everybody's seen this presentation.
Yes.
Nothing has really changed. I could go through the whole thing, Mayor. At this point, technically, all we have to do is just present the audit,
Okay.
which me being here satisfies that. I know findings are always a big topic. But really, this presentation hasn't changed. 60,000 foot, your audit went extremely well. There's documentation here talking about audit adjustments. As normal, we did not have any. So what that tells the council is you have a good internal control structure to gather your information, give you good data that you can make your financial decisions on. So your processes are working well. Another communication in there is talking about the financial records in essence. Did we have difficulties in getting the audit done? We did not. Your records are well maintained so that when we as auditors ask for support, it's given to us quickly and in good order, and it's in good shape. So overall, the financial records are being very well maintained, and you didn't have any audit adjustments, so you should feel good with the numbers that you get. You got what we call a clean opinion on both the single audit and just your regular audit. Those are exactly the type of reports that you want to receive. In essence, it's the highest level of assurance that we as auditors can give, and I think it's what you've gotten used to at the city, or at the village. So both reports are exactly what you want to see. We did have a couple of findings during the audit process. It came to our attention in testing that the cash receipts in the Civic Rec system, there was a breakdown in controls where somebody was actually posting that something was paid when it wasn't.
And this was a self-reported,
Correct.
yes.
To be honest with you, both of these were self-reported.
Okay.
As we go through the audit process, it's been a while ago, probably 10, 15 years ago, we have what we call fraud questionnaires, and then we have to do fraud interviews. These came up during those interviews in that portion of the audit. But Mayor, you're exactly right. Both of these findings did not come up in our normal sampling process. They came up as a result of what we call our fraud interviews. And so I'm pretty sure that controls have been in place. This has been dealt with. Hopefully it should be a thing of the past, but there was a couple of fees where credit was given when it shouldn't have been given credit for. And then the other one was payroll related to, again, another self-reporting where I think the police department was not correctly doing their time, and they were getting paid for hours not worked. And so, again, that was self-reported, and I think that processes.
Had in the
have been in
time
place.
cards, what we call that in the lay.
Mayor, question, you use the term falsifying timesheets. That sounds like it was willfully done.
Based upon my understanding, yes.
Charges have been filed.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
And we had two of those findings with the police departments this last year. Not just the village here, but there was another one of our clients. So
Okay.
You would hope that that wouldn't happen in the police department, but unfortunately it does. So we just need to make sure that we have good internal controls, and that when people are signing off on timesheets, they're looking at it, paying attention, not just going through and blindly signing off. So hopefully this finding will help get everybody's attention for that.
Okay,
Instead of going the whole thing, that's kind of the summary of what we went over back in December. Like I said, the audit went extremely well.
okay, thank you again. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Mayor, I do.
Yes, sir.
Again, on the agenda memo, it lists 3 audit findings, but we only got 2.
You know what? The state auditor had another one that came in late after the exit conference, and I forgot all about it.
Okay.
And you're testing my memory, and I'm failing.
Uh-oh.
Self-reporting. This police activity should have been reported to the state auditor, and it wasn't done quick enough for them.
Oh.
We've had other issues where it's generally the process to get it reported to the state auditor timely, and this one just, it was an oversight. And it wasn't reported to them. So when they got the report, they made us add a finding at the last minute. So I apologize.
Okay.
Mayor Crawford, Counselor Salas, we immediately reported to state police on both of the findings, and then as Chris stated, after the audit was already been reviewed or whatnot, they added that third one, so that we
Okay.
needed to submit to them also. In the past, we didn't do it in the past, but we did this time.
In most cases, you've done it in the
Yes.
past, so we haven't had issues, but this year, for whatever reason, this one, just an oversight.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And, you know, talking about all 3 of these findings, you know, the state audit rule takes the threshold. The government that sets the standard has a threshold up here for findings. All of 3 of your findings are down here, what we call other matters. If we were across the border in Texas, none of them would be included in your report. So they're not as significant of findings as what the standards require you to report, but the state auditor wants transparency. They want anything we find to be in the audit, and I think it's a good thing. So that way council has an opportunity to see what's happening. What I always tell too is what, if I was in your shoes as a counselor, what I want to see is, are these findings being repeated year after year? You have so many transactions going through your system. There's going to be stuff that happens. But you want to see, is management taking them serious? And my culture, the culture that since I've been your auditor, it's very rare that we have one repeated if ever. So they're taken care of, they're dealt with. That's the purpose of an audit, to identify these items. Let's get the internal controls established, let's fix it and move forward. And that's been the culture of the village for the last several years.
Okay. Anything else? Get a motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-17, a resolution of the acceptance and approval of the fiscal year 2023 audit.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson,
Aye.
Counselor Corey,
Aye.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman,
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, folks.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very
Chris.
much. Appreciate it. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on request to schedule a public hearing on June the 11th, 2024 for ordinance 2024-04, amending the Village of Ruidoso Code of Ordinance, Chapter 86 Utilities, specifically Sections 86-1 through 86-12, and Sections 86-31 through 86-33, Sections 86-63, and providing for Appendix U, Water Rate Structure, Appendix A, Fines, Fees, Penalties, Chapter 70 Solid Waste, specifically Section 70-15 through 70-17, and providing for Appendix A, Fines, Fees, and Penalties, and Chapter 54 Land Use, specifically Section 54, 404, and providing for Appendix A, Fines, Fees, and Penalties. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. I have to start off by offering my apologies. As requested, I had revised the ordinance with the new fee structure and made some modifications, but for some reason, the changed version
Didn't download?
didn't download. So what you have in your package, other than Appendix A, has some changes, but the meat and potatoes of everything, the ordinance didn't keep all the changes. I do have some printed out version of some of the changes that will allow me to go back and fix that, but I wanted to make you aware that that isn't the up-to-date version. So what you're
So
looking at is the old
should I
version.
suggest we do a postponement till
Mayor and
next
council,
week, the next month?
correct. If we could ask council to postpone it to the regular meeting in June, and then we'll advertise at that time for July for the.
For the public hearing
Yep,
for in July.
if that'll work.
I'd prefer that.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Still
Yes,
trying
go
to
ahead.
explain it.
Before we do that, seeing the municipal court fees and things of that nature, are we at a position or point of raising those?
I don't think so.
Mayor Crawford, Counselor Hooker, the AJ with the Municipal League, his suggestion is not to touch any of the municipal fines or fees due to the state. Anything we do may have a negative impact on the municipal courts. So his suggestion is you want to keep all your fines the same.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I need a motion to postpone till next meeting. Do we have a date for that?
June 11th.
June 11th.
June 11th.
Oh, is it the 14th or the 11th? I thought it was the 11th.
Be the
It
11th.
says the 11th.
Okay, can I get a motion to postpone item, pardon me, number 3 to the next meeting, June 11th?
Mr. Mayor, move to postpone the request for a scheduled public hearing on June 11th, 2024, for ordinance 2024-04.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion second, no discussion. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman. And Counselor Eby.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I apologize again.
No, that's fine.
No, that's
We
all
should
good.
have caught it whenever I looked at it. Item number 4, public hearing on application submitted by Garcia's Cafe for a restaurant B, beer, wine, and spirits liquor license with on-premises consumption only for the location at 1101 Suttereth Drive, Ruidoso, New Mexico. And I have an application. You want to ask your question? Raffle?
Yes.
Mayor Crawford, I'm sorry to interrupt. This public hearing was set for 10 o'clock, the time that we originally had set the special meeting for.
Okay,
So I need to wait until 10 o'clock before we begin.
okay, can I go ahead and move on to old business?
Yes.
Even though I didn't have it in motion, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't 10 yet. Item number 5, old business, correction of record pertaining to public hearing for request to appeal denial of planning commission case CU PV 2024-32 for 2332 Sutter Drive as heard on May 14th. Okay, and that's just a posting, so it is.
Right, you have a statement.
Oh, I do? Oh, here it is. Per New Mexico statutes, annotated state statute 3-12-2, E, and Village of Ruidoso Ordinance 54-62E, the calculation of the votes taken were not calculated correctly. Therefore, the vote failed by not obtaining a 2/3 vote of all of its members. Everybody get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay, so we have a little interlude music there, Hooker?
Yes.
Or a
Yeah.
5-minute recess.
Yeah, if anybody like to take just a 5-minute recess, then we'll come back and wait for Garcia's, because I can remember the day when we were trying to get our liquor license. Zach, you remember that? We waited on it forever, and we're not that way anymore. So if we'll take a 5-minute recess, and we'll be back here, let's just say at 10 a.m.
Works.